So I uploaded a video yesterday, and I have to apologize. Apparently, I was spreading hate speech. What did I do? Well, the exact same thing I'm doing now, showing you this video on YouTube. So it wasn't even my video. It was the exact same thing I'm doing now. It was me doing a screen capture, doing a reaction of me watching a video on YouTube. But the thing here is that that's all I did, you know. Well, okay, let me explain this. There is this town in Spain near Madrid. And this town is relatively small. You've probably didn't ever hear of it. You know, it's called Campo de Criptana. But within Spain, it's relatively famous because each year they're putting up a great carnival parade, always with a topic, and putting in a lot of effort. Last year, the topic was Pocahontas, you know, and they're all dressed up as Indians, very nice. This year, the topic was the Holocaust. And now I'm doing the exact same. I'm sorry, you know. I'm showing you this. I'm embarrassing YouTube, you know, because you know, obviously they removed my video for complaining about this video on YouTube. That is still there, you know. It's still there. The original video is still there. All I did was doing the exact same thing I'm doing now, a screen capture of that, you know, of me commenting on that video. And they removed my video for, you know, trying to bring attention to this being maybe a bit inappropriate, you know. So they removed my video because I wanted to stop this, basically, bring attention to it. But they didn't remove the original video. Now you say, oh, well, maybe they didn't watch my video long enough. Immediately, it was the same thing, screen capture. Immediately when you start watching my video, you see that I'm watching this video here on YouTube. So they can see right away that the original video, you know. So they know right away this video is still on YouTube. But instead of deleting that video, they delete my video for trying to draw attention to it, right? So they deleted my video for hate speech. Maybe you say, okay, maybe they didn't have enough time to really watch the video. Well, they wrote me that they watched the video and decided, you know, it was hate speech. But okay, maybe they didn't actually watch the video. Maybe they just read the description. But look at my description here, you know, and I haven't changed that description. You can't change the description after the video has been removed. So look at my description here. I was saying in the description of my video that they removed, "Dear YouTube censors, for once I would totally understand and agree with your decision to delete this video. But please don't just delete the videos that point out the problem and conveniently forget to delete the original Spanish video that you see me watching on YouTube, because it's that original video that is glorifying those atrocities." And I'll explain that in a moment, and I was explaining that in my original video, but apparently you're not allowed to complain about people ridiculing the Holocaust. "I'm just pointing out the problem, so please don't kill the messenger. The original video is called," I'm actually Spanish because I was born in Spain, and according to Spanish law, if you're born in Spain, then you're Spanish. But yeah, I don't actually speak Spanish, so I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. But the translation is Parade of the Cultural Association of Las Mesas in Campo de Criptana. So you can see that they're totally oblivious to how inappropriate that is. You know, they're just presenting it, oh, this is our totally normal parade, and we'll have a quick look at the parade in a second, and hopefully YouTube won't label me an evil Nazi and punish me and delete my channel and my video and everything again. So, but you can look at it yourself. You know, you can see it right there. It's on YouTube. You can, you know, everyone can see it, and they don't have any critical commentary on it at all. It's just, you know, their usual announcers in Spanish, and they're praising the parade. Nothing critical, nothing like, okay, maybe this might be a bit inappropriate. Nothing, And as you can see in the title, it just says, oh yeah, this is the parade of that town, great parade, blah blah blah. And here it just says images of blah blah blah, and this was even Centro TV, so it was even shown on Spanish TV, and nothing critical, nothing like, okay, maybe this was a bit inappropriate. Nothing, and nothing from YouTube. Everyone has been, look at this here, and I didn't even rate it, but I give it thumbs down, of course. But look at this here, lots of thumbs down. Lots of people, have been flagging this video. YouTube refuses to delete this video, but instead deletes any video that is trying to draw attention to that. So, la octava agrupación que va a participar en este desfile. So, okay, right away it starts with, you can see that the first thing. Okay, well, I don't want them to delete me again or delete the video again. You can see just, the topic of the parade is the Holocaust. Then you have, let's make it a bit bigger, but not too big. How do we do that? Yeah. So, okay, I this was maybe my mistake. Yesterday, I did it full screen. I'm keeping it. I'm not doing it full screen right now. I'm keeping it small, so that you can always see that this is on YouTube. That I'm just commenting on something that is on YouTube, and that if YouTube is gonna remove this, then please remove the original. Don't kill the messenger. Okay, so yes, this parade is completely inappropriate. I was trying to draw attention to that, and yet I get punished. Apparently, if you complain about people ridiculing the Holocaust, then that's hate speech. But actually, ridiculing the Holocaust, apparently, according to YouTube logic, that's not hate speech. But let's look at this. You can see the children, they have the Star of David that the Jews were forced to wear during the Holocaust. Then you have a big-ass tank here with some Nazis in uniform accompanying it. Vamos a recordar también, porque como bien decían estos mismos participantes. Let's skip forward a bit more. You have some dancers. Those are actually also Nazis. They're wearing the Nazi armband. And you can see the colors. It's the color of the Nazi flag. They're obviously glorifying fascism here, But apparently that's totally fine with YouTube. Just don't complain about it. So then it goes on. Skip forward. Okay, now here we come to, those are obviously supposed to be the Jews, and not just any Jews. Those are supposed to be, concentration camp inmates, because if you look closely, they're swinging. You can see that happily dancing and swinging the Israeli flag, but look at what they're wearing. Those are the concentration camp inmate prisoner uniforms, but they turned them into dresses, and they're happily dancing. Look at this. Did you see that? They even have the number on the left, but they turned them into dresses and are happily dancing to it. Apparently totally fine with YouTube, but just don't complain about it. Now, here we have a Nazi on a motorcycle, and this introduces a float. I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to represent. Maybe the Nazi on the motorcycle is, kind of driving the, making the Jews in front of him walk. Not entirely sure what it's supposed to represent. But look how happily they're dancing. And did you ever think they could make the concentration camp uniform so sexy? I didn't realize that they were so sexy. They turned them into sexy dresses. Look at this. It goes on like that for a while. I'm just skipping forward. Yeah, and here's the float. I don't think I have to explain this.
Habría este desfile un espectacular tanque.
And if you speak Spanish, I speak only a little, but from what I can make out, they were totally, they're just praising it, saying, "Oh, this is spectacular and great," and not, not a word about it maybe being a bit inappropriate or anything, So they are really glorifying the Holocaust there, I would say, But apparently that's totally fine with YouTube. That's not spreading hate speech. No, it's only hate speech if you criticize YouTube for it. If you criticize YouTube for refusing to delete that video, that's hate speech, and then they will delete your video for pointing it out. And actually, that's not even the first time this happened to me. This happens every time. I'm totally against National Socialism or anything that's extreme, and because I'm against it, I always try to raise awareness about it, and every time I does that, and every time I point out that there is inappropriate content on YouTube, every time YouTube always deletes my video but keeps the original video that is actually ridiculing the Holocaust and that is actually glorifying fascism. Yeah, and here we have the Nazi on the motorcycle, happily dancing together with the Jews in the prison, in the concentration camp uniforms. Okay, you get the idea. Let's skip forward a bit. Okay, here we have some more Nazis, again in sexy dresses. And, they're dancing together with the Jews in the concentration camp uniforms. Look how happily they're dancing together. And look at those sexy Nazi uniforms. I don't think they're just... I think they actually, and you see that in a second, they actually forgot to wear their pants. It's a Nazi uniforms, but it's like Nazi uniforms, but without pants, because they're not actually wearing pants. They're just wearing lingerie actually, and they're actually just wearing panties. You'll see that in a second.
Nazi.
You can already see it.
Y otro grupo de...
So completely glorifying fascism there, I would say. But apparently it's fine with YouTube.
Soldado. Van a hacer su representación. A ver si son...
Look, wasn't so bad back then. Look at how sexy those Nazis are.
Si optan, si el jurado considera que optan al premio, porque insistimos, son 2.000 euros lo que están también en juego.
You can't quite see it because of the low resolution, so definitely no nudity there. But on a side note, I think those panties are actually even see-through. You wouldn't be able to see it in that low resolution, but yeah, that's all they're wearing. It's just lingerie. Well, and the coat from the Nazi uniform. The open coat from the Nazi uniform. So completely glorifying it.
Entre comillas, es el primer premio en la modalidad con carroza donde participa esta asociación cultural, el Chaparral de las Mesas.
Okay, you get the idea. It goes on, with them dancing like that for a while. So let's skip forward again.
La música también es importante. Y ahí está.
Oh, and here we have some more obviously, they made that very apparent that those are supposed to be Jews. And look at the attention to detail here, yes? Here we have some more Nazis with Sturmgewehrs, and I think those are actually actual uniforms. Or, well, obviously they're probably not actual uniforms, but they look exactly like actual uniforms. They just added the cape for dancing and, for dramatic effect.
A las integrantes.
And look at the attention to detail here on the on on what is obviously supposed to be Jews in concentration camps. You can see the skull on their head. Do you see that? And each of them also has a wound. I don't know if you can see that. And now comes the highlight. I'm not skipping this because I want to, draw attention to is that, yes, this type of content is inappropriate, yes. So I'm gonna show the most inappropriate part now. I'm not skipping this. I'm sorry, and, go ahead and delete me and delete my entire channel with 10,000 subscribers, and I don't care. Because, right, this type of content is inappropriate, so please delete the original video. Please go ahead, delete my entire channel, but don't forget to delete the original video as well. Don't just always, punish those people who try to draw attention to something that is obviously completely inappropriate, but keep the completely inappropriate content. I don't think YouTube cares at all, about how much some people, for example, marginalizing and making fun of the Holocaust. They don't care. They just care about their own image. So they only start to care the moment you draw attention to it. Then they will say, oh, yes, you're spreading hate speech. But the original, they keep. So yes, this is inappropriate. And I'm not even going to say that. Look at what they're doing here. There is smoke. I wonder what that smoke might represent. Look at the Jews. It's almost like they're not getting air. In my last video, I said, well, yes, they're reenacting the Jews getting gas. That's exactly what they're doing. In a happy way. All this dancing and oh, great. And, on a carnival. What the hell? Yes, this is inappropriate.
Bueno, pues ahí queda dicho en esa voz en off que han dado para la plaza en este tema que, bueno, pues sin lugar a dudas no deja indiferente a nadie.
And look, now they're building formations while they're being gassed. This doesn't even make any sense. And they continue to happily dance. What the hell? And they're waving the Israeli flag. What the hell? Okay, so admittedly, they had a bit of dramatic music there for a moment, but right away they start to happily dance again. So yeah, you get the idea, so let's skip forward again. Yeah, the happy dancing goes on for a while, as you can see. And look how happily they're all dancing together. The Nazis with the Sturmgewehr, and the sexy Nazis with the batons, and with no pants, together with the girls waving the Israeli flag, and then concentration camp inmate uniforms that they turned into dresses, and with skulls on their head and blood on their stomach. And again, with no pants, by the way. I just realized that the supposed Jews are not wearing pants either. And who the hell is she? She's coming right out of some porn fantasy, isn't she? I'm starting to realize where they did their historical research on the Holocaust. Must have been from watching those 70s exploitation porn flicks. Oh, but now they get liberated. How nice.
Desde el Carnaval también. Es verdad que no es habitual ver esta...
And in case YouTube misunderstood that, yes, I'm being a bit sarcastic here, I'm making fun of them making fun of the Holocaust. Because, yes, that's inappropriate. I'm trying to draw attention to it in case, obviously the people at YouTube aren't so smart, so they don't get that. So I guess I have to explain it.
Este tipo de
representaciones, pero, oye, es el carnaval. El carnaval es carnaval, ni más ni...
So, yes, this is inappropriate. Yes. Look, yeah, and, when I say, she comes right out of a 70s sexploitation porn flick, then, yes, that sounds funny, but it's meant to be serious. It's meant to draw attention to the fact that this is entirely inappropriate, right? So, yes, I can totally understand if you delete my video. You should. But why keep the original? And you can't say that you didn't know that. The entire video consists of me watching this video. So you see this video is on YouTube. And if you take even the tiniest look at the description, you see right away, here's the video, please delete that. No one does that. YouTube doesn't do that. YouTube just deletes any video that says, hey, this is inappropriate. And I didn't even mention the most inappropriate yet. You can see she's standing on a float. You'll see the entire float in a second.
Pues con ese mensaje de libertad,
and look how sexy she's dancing. We'll skip that.
Porque son 100 que están en esto. Pero tierra propia.
Now take a look at the float that she's dancing on.
Media directo junto a en el Palacio del Carnaval. No hemos podido verlo al completo desde mantener para que...
You see that float? Okay. You can see in my tone of voice that I'm getting a bit more serious now because yes, this is inappropriate. So the front of the float is a locomotive. Not gonna do any more comment on this, make your own associations there. Then we have the 70s exploitation Nazi flick chick happily dancing together with the Reichsadler, one of the symbols of the Third Reich. We have two chimneys on the background, in the back there, two chimneys. I'm not gonna comment on what those chimneys may represent, but as I said, make your own associations. Look at the entire float and look at what it might represent. And then in between those two chimneys, we have those two Jewish symbols and the Star of David. So make your own associations there and decide if that's appropriate or not. Apparently, to YouTube, that's totally appropriate. You know, they're keeping that video. They're just deleting any video that's saying, hey, this is inappropriate. And unlike me, who's doing a critical commentary on it, they're not. The Spanish seem to be completely oblivious to that, even though they too actually fought in World War II. A lot of people don't know that. Think, oh yeah, Spain was neutral. Oh, yeah, Spain wasn't neutral, really. Spain was just as fascist as Italy and Germany, and Spain actually sent many soldiers to fight in World War II. You know? Of course, they were, so-called, quote unquote volunteers, and they were German uniforms, but they were special German uniforms, with even with the Spanish flag on it and everything. So they did actually fight in World War II. So and they were fascists. So I think this is completely inappropriate, especially for Spain. Yet they seem to be completely oblivious to it. As is YouTube. Or YouTube just, just doesn't care. It only cares the moment you start criticizing YouTube.